Welcome to Dark and Twisted Tales.
Oh, hello. Come on in. Did you find the place okay? Well, that's great. I'm glad you can make it. Why don't you have a seat and get comfortable? There you go. I know it's a little tricky to find the place considering the secluded location. I even get lost from time to time. When I reached out to you, I was a little worried that you wouldn't come. I can't tell you how happy I am that you did. Now, this book I'm writing needs a real person with a real story. I wanted to encapsulate what it's like to be a nomad, you know? A loner that moves around from place to place. I want to get a feel for the adventures and characters you meet out there in the real world. I want you to make me feel like I'm there with you, you know? Like I'm traveling with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean loner in the derogatory sense. I meant it is, someone who enjoys solitude. I tell you, I'm a bit of a loner myself. It's pretty rare when I get visitors, and I don't get out too much. I've always got my head buried in my writing. Would you like a drink? Yeah, that little fridge right over there. Mind grabbing me one while you're in there? Thanks. Sorry, I don't have any choices. I'm a creature of habit, you know? Same old thing, day in and day out. There's something about change that I don't particularly care for. I mean, why the hell do things have to be different? I like to stick to a routine, you know? But I digress. Let's get back to you. Your free-roaming lifestyle has me interested. I can only imagine how free you must feel, never having to worry about staying in the same place, no bills, stresses of work. I gotta say I envy you. I've always imagined what it must be like to have a nice, easy, free-roaming lifestyle. As a writer, I'm always cramped up in this office, pondering thoughts all day, thinking about what I should write next. It's almost like a little prison at times, you know? Yeah, I guess you would know. I mean, how could you? Our lives are so completely different, I suppose. Oh, you want to know my story? I mean, we're here to talk about you, but hey, what the hell? We have time, right? Not like either of us have anywhere to be, am I right? How's that drink? Oh, good. Just let me know if you need another one, okay? So what's there to say about me? I had a bit of a rough childhood growing up, I suppose. My parents were quite the pair. My dad was kind of an asshole sometimes. Kicked my ass pretty good when I got out of line, but whose dad didn't lay a boot across their kid's ass when they screwed up, am I right? Especially back then. Yeah, back in those days you could lay into your kids and no one would say a damn word. Not like today, you know. Parent raises their voice at a kid and CPS comes knocking on the door an hour later. Things haven't really changed, haven't they? You look about my age. I'm guessing your dad probably laid into you a couple times too, huh? No? Well, good for you. I can't say it got any easier, you know? Getting a size 12 boot in the ass and a smack across the back of the head. Well, needless to say, I suppose it probably helped me learn a lesson or two. Well, I guess if I'm being honest, it was more than that. Especially after Dad got a few drinks in him. One time he beat me so bad I had to use crutches for a week. Told everyone that I fell down the front stairs. Sorry, I hope I'm not getting too personal. Okay, good. Yeah, old Dad. He was one mean old son of a bitch. But I learned my lessons. He shaped me into the man I am today. Nothing like a few cigarette burns to the back of the neck to get you straightened out, you know? Yeah, old Dad died when I was 15. I can't say I miss the beatings, but I sure miss the good times. We used to go hunting, you see. Dad had this gold-plated Winchester rifle. Killed my first buck with it, as a matter of fact. I hung that gun right over there on the wall in my office. Quite a sight, huh? They don't make 'em like that anymore, that's for sure. Anyway, after Dad died, Mom and I just kept on going. We moved a lot from place to place. I guess you could say we lived like nomads. We couldn't afford much without Dad's income, so we got evicted a lot. After a while, I just got used to it. Now I'm sure that's something you can relate to. And after I graduated high school, I knew I wanted to become a writer. Started pouring everything I had into it. I wrote about everything, from kids' books to fiction, non-fiction, whatever was popular. Still, nothing ever really sold well. It was failure after failure after failure. When you fail so many damn times, you start to be desensitized to it, It's like it doesn't even hurt anymore. You bet your ass I kept on writing, though. One damn book after another. Never gave up. Hell, I put so much time into writing that I forgot to meet myself a nice gal. Pretty much kept to myself, Just kept on writing and writing. Since I never met any women, I didn't have any kids, didn't go buy my dream home. All the things people want to do in their lives. It's just been me in this little office, writing book after book. Same shit, different days, they say. I even have a bed in the back. Yep, I spend almost every waking minute here in this office. It's not bad, though. It's like my private little sanctuary where I can think and write. How you doing over there? You need another drink? Oh, no, don't bother. I'll grab 'em this time. You just relax. We'll get to your story here just directly. Get comfortable. You're not too cold or warm, are ya? I can adjust the thermostat. Oh, okay, good. Glad to hear you're comfortable. Well, where was I? Oh yeah, my failures. I'm tired of the failures, you see? That's why I contacted you. I wanted to get to know you. Get a feel for what your lifestyle's like, I figured if I dug deep and got some detail, maybe this book would feel real to the reader. Maybe it would resonate with people. I mean, I've always researched the topic that I'm writing about, but this time I wanted to really go for it. I wanted to interview someone who's lived it, who's really felt what it's like, I want this to be my best book yet. When it comes to my writing, that's all I have, you see? No wife, no kids. Just me here in this little office. It's high time I made something of myself. It's time I write something that captivates people, something that feels real to the reader. I figured if I could get as much detail as possible, then maybe my book would finally sell. You look a little tired over there. You don't want any coffee or anything, do you? Don't want you dozing off before we get into all the interesting stuff. I see you're looking at that statue on the table there. Yeah, that's a real nice piece. Got it in an auction for a steal. They tell me the title for the statue is Thanatos, which is Greek for death. They say if you stare into its eyes long enough, it'll still a part of your soul. Crazy talk, right? I never believed any of that nonsense myself. I just liked how it looked. Has a real creepy feel to it. Something about it caught my attention. Something uneasy about the way it looks. Something dark. Huh. Maybe I'll use the statue. I hadn't thought about it up until now. It's heavy enough to do the job. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking out loud. Never mind that. The thing about writing, you see, is that you have to get the reader's attention. Nowadays, with all the damn movies and TV shows, it makes it hard to keep people entertained. They've all been dumbed down by spending hours in front of the TV. I can't stand the damn things. Don't have one and never will. No, people just don't appreciate a good book anymore. Pisses me off if I'm being truthful. All these goddamn kids walking around with their smartphones, just watching video after video. Tell you, society has gone downhill. This book, though, this book is gonna get people reading again. I'm gonna change the world with this one. We're gonna change the world with this one. You and me together. And I notice your drink is empty. And you look like you can't move. So, I think this is a good point to let you in on a little secret. I'm not really writing a book about what it's like to be a nomad. Now, I'm sure you have a great story to tell, but I'm not really interested in all that. I'm more interested in the part where no one would miss you or come looking for you. Being that you're a nomad and all, bouncing from place to place, I figured no one would even think twice if you just disappeared. Oh, come on, don't look at me like that. It had to be somebody, you know. Think about it this way. You're gonna get to be the main character in my new horror novel. Sure, I'll change a few details about you, but what could be better? I get to live on forever in black and white print. We'll get people reading books again, like in the good old days. Just like in the days when being a writer meant something. The days when people gave a damn about a good book. No point in struggling now. You can fight all you want. No need to worry about what I put in your drink. I promise it won't kill you. Make no mistake, though, you won't be leaving this office alive. And that's it right there. That's the fear I'm looking for. The look in your eyes. Knowing that soon you'll cease to exist. I'm sure being conscious but not being able to move has its discomforts, and for that, I do apologize. Since I'm being so candid, I suppose I can tell you one more little secret. That Winchester rifle up there is more than just a gun. That's the gun I killed my old man with. Yep. Put a fucking bullet right in the back of his skull. Didn't really appreciate all the beating so much as I let on. Mom, she didn't really do anything to stop him, so I figured she might as well be the one snatching the whiskey bottle over my head. No, Mom just stood there and watched. Sometimes she even laughed, told me to be a man and take it, called me a worthless, sniveling bastard. You know what I did? Took that beautiful gun and I shot her right in her empty, cold fucking heart. Cops never did find me. The newspaper article said that someone killed my parents and abducted me. After a while, they just quit looking. After that, I changed my name and started a new life. A life of a writer. I haven't been entirely untruthful with you. I am a writer, after all. To be able to write, and I mean really write about murder, one has to partake in the activity. If I want this book done right, I can't just guess what it's like to see somebody's lights go out. I need to see it firsthand. I need to watch it as it happens, as everything goes dark. I need to study it. I almost feel it for myself. Sure, I killed my parents, but they didn't see it coming, so it was different, you see? If you're panicked now, just wait until I pick up the statue. As I said, I've always loved that piece. It's only fitting to use my most prized possession in the office. Well, maybe second most prized behind the Winchester. That would be too loud, though. This heavy piece of marble might make more of a mess, but it'll be more up close and personal. I feel like I've gotten so close to you since you arrived. Can't get much closer than this now, can we? Yes, this statue will do just nicely. Now, this is how you write a book that will sell. A book that cannot fail. One that people will want to read. That people will have to read. Well, don't you look at the time? It's getting pretty late, and I've got a lot of writing to do. This will be my best book yet. I think I'll name it after the statue. I think I'll call it Thanatos. Thank you for joining us on Dark and Twisted Tales. This week's episode, The Statue, was written and produced by Will Bowser. Please like and follow wherever you get your podcasts. And if you could, leave us a rating or review. That really helps us a lot. Thank you again for listening. Good night.